Hello everybody on the internet. Wow, 2024 was the biggest and best year of my life. As I began to venture into filmmaking, I saw so many movies this year. I don't think this year's movies were as good as last year's, but it's still worth talking about. So I am going to list my top 5 movies of 2024. Number 5 is Godzilla Kong: The New Empire. This movie filmed right here on the Gold Coast. It once again delivered on everything that the MonsterVerse movies always deliver on. Amazing visual effects, epic scale, and good world building. This one did even more world building, opening up the vast Hollow Earth. It was impressive how they gave Kong so much uninterrupted screen time, which made him and the other monsters feel more like characters. The humans are less interesting, but I liked Dan Stevens. It's not the best of the franchise, but it's a cool cinematic experience that you'd expect from the MonsterVerse. Number 4 is Damsel. This is an untraditional and engaging fantasy tale. A dark fantasy survival thriller is such a cool concept to make a movie out of. It has everything to love about fantasy, while offering a new, refreshing perspective in its story. The best thing about it is Millie Bobby Brown as Princess Elodie. Millie once again proves she is one of the greatest young actresses of all time. She does so much with her performance, as you are grounded with her trying to survive. That was when the movie was at its best. We spend so much time there. Later on it becomes more of an action movie, but it worked. I really recommend Damsel. Number 3 is The Fall Guy. This famously filmed in Sydney, Australia, and it is so cool, so fun, with a unique premise. The Fall Guy glorifies and pays homage to stuntmen, depicting one as the hero. This has everything you'd love from a David Leitch movie, and he was the perfect director for this, as he is a former stuntman. There's so much great action and style all throughout, and it's very pleasantly self-aware. Ryan Gosling as Colt Seavers was awesome. Emily Blunt as Jodie made for a great relationship. The Fall Guy really came out at the perfect time for me, as I was studying filmmaking and am now going into the industry. I got a real kick out of the filmmaking terms and references. Number 2 is Deadpool and Wolverine. It's good that we only had one Marvel event this year, and it needed to be Deadpool and Wolverine. This movie is a dream come true. It captures the insanity of the Deadpool comics like never before. This is a compelling journey with these two characters through the Marvel multiverse. Ryan and Hugh's chemistry is just amazing. This is the most Hugh has ever felt like Wolverine. The use of practical locations makes the movie look good, and the action is so brutal. And of course, it was amazing to see Human Torch, Gambit, Blade, X-23 and the Deadpool Corps. Ryan, Hugh and Sean are a magical trio, but the problems with the movie are the blasphemy and the vulgarness. Before the number 1, here are some honourable mentions. Twisters is something I wasn't anticipating, but the story was surprisingly solid. It has enough differences to stand out from the original. Glen Powell was my favourite part, and it's shot on film, so it's a nice looking cinematic experience. Ordinary Angels is a movie I went into blind, and I'm so glad I saw it. It's such an emotional, real, impactful, yet hopeful story. You can always expect that from Kingdom Story Company. Gladiator 2 was my first time seeing a Ridley Scott movie in cinemas, and it was an epic experience. This is his best movie since The Martian. It is an unnecessary sequel, but they found the right story direction and characters to make it work. Number 1 is Transformers 1. This is what the franchise needed. This is a story never told in a movie before. The origin of the Autobots and Decepticons, and Optimus Prime and Megatron. Even though it's a family movie and we know the basics of what will happen, it is still a strong story that gets especially powerful in the third act. I absolutely loved Chris Hemsworth as Orion Pax, and when he becomes Optimus Prime, it is so iconic. Being entirely set on Cybertron allows it to dive deep into Transformers lore. As a lifelong Transformers fan, I got a massive kick out of it. And ILM's animation was great. There was no better way to do this movie. Transformers 1 had the touch, and the power. So what are your top 5 movies of 2024? Let me know in the comments below, and may the Force be with you.